So now that we have this ready to go, this is some of the finished filling right here.
Great.
Which you can just spoon right in. You can see how it sets up.
Yeah.
It also, so I like to pre-cook the filling because it makes it a little bit easier to handle at this stage. If anyone's ever like made like an apple pie, like where they are mixing everything together at once and putting it in, it sort of separates. You know, you end up with a sort of soupy bit on the bottom and then the other chunky bit. So this makes it a little bit more like something you can kind of pick up and place down.
Nice.
So we've got this in now, and then we're going to do our lattice top on top of this. So I actually have a little piece of the dough that I prepared earlier. So so this would be the other piece, and by all means, if you're one of those people that sort of has a problem, if you're nervous about rolling out the dough or anything like that, roll out your dough and then pop it in the fridge, let it chill before you do any cutting or shaping or anything like that, and that'll be way easier.
Little insurance.
Yeah, exactly. So I use about 8 1-inch strips for a pie like this. This is a 9-inch pie pan.
It's usually pretty thick pieces.
Yeah, I sort of like them. I think it's just got that like classic shape. And I'm using a ravioli cutter, which sort of gives it that groove, that groovy sort of look.
Yeah, it's fun.
You could also just cut it, you know, with a pizza cutter or something like that. I like to use this rather than a knife just because you end up, it's like kind of easier to work with.
Right.
So we've got our strips there.
And again, look at the color of that egg. You can just see the quality of the yolks.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. They actually, they'll sort of change over the course of the year too.
Do they?
Because of
depending
like
on the seasons of the feed.
what they're eating
right.
and stuff. So a little bit of egg on the outside, and then we're going to do our lattice top here. So I like to sort of space it out.
Okay.
And then basically you start with 4, and then you're going to alternate going the other direction, right? So 2 back, and then flip the other way, across.
It looks so much more complicated than
Yeah,
this,
exactly. No, I know. It's like it's literally just you're just switching 2 for 2 at a time.
It's like weaving a rug.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I've ever done that. But.
You kidding me? You're obviously not from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know. I look like an expert rug weaver.
So once you have your perfect lattice rug done, we can basically just crimp this down, press this down over the side just to attach those 2 layers together. And then just using a paring knife, you can just trim off a little bit of that excess.
All right. And now do you fold that under, or you just kind of leave it?
Yeah, no.
overhang
So
like
I'm
that?
going to I like to sort of roll it up into a little bit of kind of a rope, and then
Oh, okay.
and then give it. Although a lot of people, if you're a pie enthusiast,
As I am.
Yeah, you know, people sort of have their own styles of crimping. So at this point, we're now in the range of you can do, you know, I've seen Pinterest has provided all sorts of different pie crimping techniques. So basically, I like to roll it out and sort of just give it a little bit of a pressure here.
Okay.
Just to sort of bring it together, so you don't end up with too thick of an edge.
Do you do anything with your dough scraps?
Yeah, so you can, you know, honestly, you can save them and like re-roll them. You can get like 2 rolls out of a dough, I'd say. You can also do other sort of things like crostadas or something like that, which is like more like an open ended thing,
like
or
a free
like
form.
Yeah, or like empanada kind of hand pie things. Another good thing because it actually helps to have the dough be worked a little bit more for that.
Oh, okay.
So once we've got our sort of edge like this, I like to just dip my finger a little bit, and I just do kind of a little pinch.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it just sort of creates like a little, and when you're doing your pie edge, you want it to be, at least I know with this pie dough, is you want the design to look actually rather dramatic, because it'll sort of soften as it bakes, so you get a little bit more show if it's got a nice frilliness there.
That's a great tip.
Yeah. And then we're going to just brush this with a little cream.
What's the cream do?
So I like to use cream rather than egg because it just sort of, it doesn't really make it browns it up nicely, but it almost sort of keeps it more like a biscuit kind of top rather than
like the egg gets glossy.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of? Okay.
Yeah. So it is like a different kind of effect. I just like the result of, again, like this dough, in my opinion, kind of is more like biscuit dough than a,
Okay.
you know, like a croissant or a
Traditional.
brioche or something like that. So I like to keep it
Okay.
with the cream. I guess that's kind of like another like old timey thing.
Yeah, I like that. I hate having to beat an entire egg just to brush the top of a pie crust, and then you feel like you throw the whole thing out.
Yeah, exactly. So once you're brushed like this,
Let me bake it off.
yeah. We can actually sprinkle that with a little bit of sugar, which
Oh,
we
okay.
don't really have.
All right,
but
that's fine.
That's
What
ready to go.
temperature?
375 in a conventional oven works well. It's going to bake for about an hour. You want the filling to be really nice and bubbly and for the top to be crusty and dark.
Well, it smells incredible. It looks incredible.
Yeah, this one we baked off, earlier today, and this is a perfect ready to go pie, and I'm
looks
not scared
awesome.
of a little bit of coloration and stuff like that. I think it's a beautiful.
Neither am I.